Good morning. Hey, this is my Monday morning musing from the conference room of Caliber Security Partners. Wanted to talk to you about what if. Do you ever play the what if game? Do you ever sit back and say, man, if I could have only done this, or if I only would have done that, uh, or man, if I could do this, or if I could do that, and you could what if yourself to death. You could just what if and just doing that, do you ever have any success with that? Do you ever have any success? You're like, man, I was over there and I was talking about what if I would have done this, what if I would have done that, and boom, all of a sudden, my life is perfect. All those what ifs just disappeared. It doesn't happen. What actually happens is we what if ourselves in a negativity. It's like, I should have done this, I should have done that. And, what if I just would have made this particular change in my life? Things would be so much better than they are right now. So I caution you to be careful about the what if game, because it just leads you down a bad path. And I know that from personal experience, because I've done that a few times. I don't really do it much anymore, but there have been times that I sit back and I went, man, if I wouldn't have made that particular business decision, I would have had hundreds of thousands of dollars more than I have right now. And, for a while there, that kind of started paralyzing me, where I would just sit back and say, man, and I would think about what life might be like if I would have had that money, if I would have made this better decision or whatever. And you know what? If I wouldn't have made those decisions, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And I like the person I am today. So you got to be careful doing the what if game. Now, one of the things that you might do is future what if, and that is, what if I do these things here and this happens? Now, you could either do this in a couple of different ways. You could either look at what if in the future as, the negativity of, well, what if I do that? This might happen, and that's bad, and this is bad, and whatever. Or you might do the what if I do this, I might get this great thing. And I think anything that propels you to do good, to make good choices, to take great action, is where you need to go. You don't want to do things that are going to paralyze you, but you also don't want to do things that are going to get your head stuck in a cloud. What you want to do is you want to do things, and you want to think of things that are going to help you take an action. Because, you hear me talking about it. Make a plan. Follow it up with good action. Today's Monday. Man, I love Mondays. Mondays to me are the best day of the week. It's when I get to restart, recommit, reevaluate, all of that stuff, and put it into a plan and take action. That's what you want to do. And so if you're the kind of person that says, I want this big, huge thing, let's just say that what you want is, I want $10 million, and I want a house that's worth $5 million. I want $10 million in cash, a $5 million house, and I want nice cars, whatever. Be more specific than just nice cars. But let's just go with that. The thing is what can you do this week that's going to impact that decision, that goal, that $10 million in cash, $5 million house? It's really easy to get into a fantasy of, I want this, but you got to be able to put that into action, and you got to be able to put that into something that's measurable. And the best way to do that is to chunk that down to something. So, you can have that big picture, that big goal, that huge, Jim Collins that wrote Good to Great talked about BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals, things that are just, things that are just really, really super, super difficult to hit. And he talks about it as a corporate level, but you can do that on a personal level too. Big, hairy, audacious goals. But if you have them, you got to be able to chunk them down and say, what am I doing today? What am I going to do this week? And how am I going to measure that? At the end of the week, how do I go back and say, how close did I hit those goals? And did those goals that were reached or not reached, how did they affect my BHAGs, my big, hairy, audacious goal of $10 million in cash, $5 million house, and whatever your fine, nice cars are. But you got to be able to measure it. If you can break it down into something that at the end of the week you can look at and say, I did this, and this is leading me to that, then you're on the right track, and you're on the right, you're taking the right steps, and that's what you got to do. You got to be able to do that. Have a great week. Anybody needs me, anybody want to talk to me, send me a direct message. Love to hear from you. Have a great week.